I'm out here in my Plumeria garden and I wanted to show all of you what a seed pod looks like. Ever since I started posting the pollination videos or the hand pollination videos, many of you have asked me, well, what does a seed pod look like? Can you give us more information about what happens in 9 months if our Plumeria gets pollinated? So this is one of our seed pods that luckily for us, it is ready to be, the seeds are ready to be harvested. And I want to explain to you how this works. I'm not going to remove this outer protective pantyhose until we get inside the garden house. But I want to show you that before I cut it off, this is the spot where it was blooming last year. This is where, oh, by the way, this variety is Bora Bora Amethyst Twist. It was one of the purples that I manually pollinated last summer. So, or actually it would have been last early fall. So this is where it bloomed, and one of the flowers was pollinated. So after the flower fell off, the part of the bud stem, the bottom part that was still attached to the tree, that's where it started forming this seed pod. And it didn't have this long branch looking thing. It was just very tiny here. But as time went by, this grew. And as you can see, the seed pod's attached to it. So why is the pantyhose covering it? Because, for instance, I check this every single day because I know at the 9-month mark, because I keep records, I know I'm approaching the 9-month mark. So I come and check it every single day. And this morning I came out and I could feel one side was open, which you'll see in the next part of our video. So I knew that it was time because this side will open any day now. And I don't want to keep it out in the weather because even though this pantyhose is preventing them from flying away, that's why it's put there, it's not going to prevent them from getting germinated. And once they get wet, they can start the germination process. And if they're not germinated the proper way, they can get moldy. So I don't want that to happen. So I want to go ahead and snip this off. These are clean little clippers. And I'm going to go ahead and clip it here. And then I'm going to take it indoors to the garden house. So basically I just cut the umbilical cord. I'm going to take it into the garden house now and open up the pantyhose that's tied on with fastened with a zip tie to keep it from coming off, and we'll show you the rest there. Welcome back. We're in my garden house now so that I don't lose any seeds when I take this pantyhose off that's protecting them from being blown away by the wind. So I'm going to snip the zip tie. I do try to recycle these pantyhose, but sometimes it's a lost cause. Oh, you can tell it's ready because it's feels very dry. All right, you ready? This is what the seed pod looks like when it's still closed. This side's still closed, but you see there's a little seam across the top, almost like how a pregnant woman's tummy gets that little line right before she's getting ready to give birth, and that's where it cracks open from, is right there. And then if you take this off, that's of the side that's actually already opened, this is what it looks like. And there could be some seeds still in that pantyhose, so I won't throw it away. So I take this part off because that's nothing. And then these are the seeds. So let me take one out so you can see what it looks like. So it looks like a little betta fish, right? And there's a bunch of them. And they're all laid in that beautiful little pattern there. So it looks like a betta fish. The part that goes into the soil, or in the case with the arrow gardens, because I like to germinate and grow them the first 2 months in my hydroponic units, is the head of the betta fish. So they go down like this. This part is very thin and flimsy, and this is what the wind uses to lift that seed up to carry it and blow it across to plant it somewhere in the earth where Mother Nature intends it to be planted. So that's how you plant it, either in soil or in my hydroponic units, just like that. But yep, that's it. And then I just take them and I just pull them out like this. I store them in paper because if you store seeds in plastic, after a certain amount of time, they won't be viable, they won't germinate. You need to really make sure that you keep them in paper until you're ready to sow them. So I hope you enjoyed this video about what happens next after you hand pollinate your Plumeria flowers. If you're successful in getting it pollinated, you get all of these seeds, and that's just half of the ones I'll get, because the other half, when it opens, or I can even manually open it, but I'll probably let it open on its own here in the cool, dry, climate controlled room here. See it? I just felt like it just cracked a little bit. So it's going to be opening any minute, any day. And then next you'll get to see these guys getting germinated in my paper towel method that works best for me, using a Ziploc bag in a sunny window. And then once I see a little root coming out, they're going to get planted in these AeroGardens, and that's going to be another cool thing to get to watch, to see how fast they grow in just 2 months. So happy growing, everybody. I hope you get lots of seeds from twirling.